Right on right. Howdy folks, Matt here with Gulf Coast Fit. Joining me once again, we've got Remy and Laura. Today is a gun show workout per their request. So this bro session is not because of me. I'd be off practicing my downward facing dog, but they're like, dude, let's just build the biceps today. We want to get a big pump so they can meander around the Pueblo and show our neighbors what gringos are made of. Gringos. So we're going to be using dumbbells and bands today. And for the structure of today's workout, this arm workout, we'll be using the dumbbells for our bicep exercises. And rather than bicep, I'd rather call it our elbow flexion exercises, because we'll be doing different elbow flexion exercises with the dumbbells that don't necessarily target the biceps specifically in the most efficient manner or effective manner. We're all going to focus on things like the brachialis, the wrist extensors, and the biceps. So elbow flexion exercises is a little bit more accurate. And as far as the elbow extension exercises for the triceps, we'll be using our bands. These are all variations of bicep curls and tricep extensions that don't require a ton of weight. You don't need an entire gym or a lot of machines or equipment at your disposal. And that's the idea here, is that if you've got maybe some lighter dumbbells than you would typically think you need for this type of a workout, we'll show you how to put these weights to good use. And you'll see here, Remy's got some 5s, Laura's got some 10s, and I can tell you that they would typically, if we were doing kind of some standard conventional type of training, they might be doing 2 to 3 times more weight than this. Same with me, I've got some 15s, and just because I can hoist up and curl some 40 or 50 pound dumbbells or whatever, doesn't mean we can't learn to implement some 15 pounders for myself to make this just as effective, if not more effective, for the biceps. And something like a smaller band just as effective, if not more effective, than some really heavy cable tricep extensions or using machines with all kinds of heavy loads. So that's our objective here, is to make less weight more effective and to get a good arm burn, make ourselves grit our teeth a little bit and walk away feeling like we're turning our pea shooters into lima bean shooters. So without further ado, let's make sure that I push play, because we all know how I'm good at getting that sometimes. All right, we'll start with our dumbbells. Now the theme today, as far as the dumbbell bicep curl variations, is going to be combining isometric contractions along with dynamic contractions where we're moving the muscles. So isometric contractions are where we're holding a static contraction, the joint angle is not changing, and then we'll go into our actual moving reps. So let's start with a supinated palm facing forward position. We're going to do half a bicep curl, bring it up right here, elbows are about 90 degrees, and we're going to hold this. How long? Until I feel like moving. I know this is a weight that we typically might not think would be effective for a set of bicep curls. However, if we hold an isometric contraction like this for somewhere between 20 to 30 seconds, then that pre-fatigues our muscles for our moving reps. And so let's say 5, 4, get ready to bicep curl, 3, 2, lower it down, and let's start to curl together. We'll get 8 to 10 reps here. We want to make sure we're lowering down all the way, squeezing at the top, contracting and flexing deliberately at the top, stretching and controlling all the way down through the eccentric. And once again, using our mind muscle connection to make these weights feel heavier than they actually are. Let's get 2 more. All right, excellent. Let's go ahead and set the dumbbells down. We'll grab our bands for our first tricep extension variation. And this will also combine isometric work with non-isometric work. And so we're going to start with a palms down grip. The grip distance is a little bit less than shoulder, or about shoulder width. And so first what we're going to do is spread and stretch the band. We already feel the triceps engaged. Let's bend the elbows, then push the fists outward a little bit right there. Yep, right there. And by pushing outward, we've now engaged the triceps on the back of the arms. Now, you're your own best judge, and it's your job to stay honest with it. Keep spreading your fists out. Keep contracting the triceps. Think about squeezing, flexing, contracting the back of your arms. In order to do our tricep extensions where we push our fists all the way out into elbow extension, we'll need to lengthen our grip out a little bit. And we'll do that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spread the fists out about one hand width each way. And now let's go right into some tricep extensions horizontally. Lauren, let's have you scoot more into the middle. And Remy, let's have you scoot more into the middle as well. And I'm just going to meander around in the background. Reps here, it's more about feel than reps. You feel it burning, Remy?
Oh, yeah.
Push those fists all the way out. Try to straighten those elbows all the way out. There you go. Let's get 5 more. Squeeze them out. Yep. Squeeze them out and flex. 2 more. Squeeze them out and flex. All right, good. Now we've awoken our triceps, and that was a good first round. We'll go back into our elbow flexion exercises now. So now you two scoot closer together in front and center. Now we're going to take a hammer grip or a neutral grip where our palms are semi-pronated. Palms are facing inward. We've got the same idea here. We're going to start with an isometric contraction, but a different joint angle. So let's hammer curl these up towards the top of a bicep curl, and this is where we're going to pause. We're not just holding the dumbbells here. We're squeezing, flexing our forearms, flexing our biceps. 20 to 30 seconds. Something that can tend to happen because we've got the weight front loaded is your hips might start to collapse forward. Push your butt back a little bit so that you're staying erect and vertical. Now you guessed it, we're going to go into hammer curls now, 8 to 10 reps in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and curl slowly down. Come up, squeeze. Control it down. Come up, squeeze. Control the eccentric. The tempo is important here. You can see we're not just swinging, letting gravity pull the dumbbells down. We're not hoisting them up aggressively. There's no teeter-tottering. We're not using momentum. These are not cheat reps. We've got a fairly slow tempo both directions here. This slow tempo in conjunction with the pre-fatigue effect of the isometric pause is what makes these dumbbells that may be a little smaller than we would typically use more effective today. Let's get 2 more. Forgot to mention, but this is round 2 of 5. We'll be doing 5 variations on the dumbbells and 5 variations with the band. All right, so we've got a very similar tricep extension here, but instead of horizontally moving in this plane of motion, we're going to have our arms start as field goal posts, palms facing up, spreading outward, and then we'll execute the tricep extensions to the side. So, similar, but different enough to be a completely different variation. So, let's start spreading the fists out a little bit. Yep. Too easy for you. Scoot your hands in a little bit and then spread. There we go. Yeah. We've got about 90 degrees at the elbows, more or less. Pull your shoulders back a little bit. Now, it's a good time while we're holding an isometric contraction to recommit to our steady, profound breath. Deep, steady air in. Easy air out. We'll begin our tricep extensions in 5, 4, 3. Scoot your hands out a little bit and spread them. Back up to 90-degree angle, back up to field goal posts. Push the fists outward away from each other. Think about pushing your pinky fingers down towards the ground every time you extend. A lot harder than it looks. Let's get 5 more. See, the band comes kind of across your clavicle, above your chest each time. Nelly. Okay. All right, we're at the top of round 3 here. So, let's change our angle just to demonstrate. Let's face to the left a little bit. Lower to the right a little bit. Here we go. I want you to see how joint angles are playing a role here. So we're doing a reverse curl now. Pronated palms. Palms facing towards our thighs to start. And now we're going to curl only about 33, a third of the way up, 33% of the way up. So let's lift. We're not at 90 degrees. Let's keep the palms face down a little more. There you go. Keeping this pronated grip. You see we're not up here horizontal at 90 degrees. We're down below that. Enough to engage your forearms. And with this variation, we're working the wrist extensors, the brachialis, and the brachioradialis, much more than a standard palms up supinated grip bicep curl. So far, this is the hardest of the 3 variations, which is always the case with a reverse grip curl. Let's start our curls in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Curl it up, squeeze. Lower down, curl it up, squeeze. Control, and we contract. Control all the way down, full extension, squeeze and contract. Make sure to breathe, make sure to breathe. Keep your glutes engaged, keep your core engaged, keep your body still, keep your hips stable, keep your palms down, keep your mind right. Let's get 3 more. I know it burns, I know it hurts, but like we always say, we've got better things to think about than how much it hurts. We've got joint actions and muscle contractions to stay focused on. So your mind-muscle connection is what keeps things safe and controlled, and it's what keeps things effective and efficient. Back to our triceps here. This is actually a single arm tricep extension. And what would be beneficial here is if, let's have you both face backwards. I'll face forward. So let's step on the band. This is an overhead tricep extension with our right heel. Band is under your right heel behind you. And then we're going to take your palm through the loop like this. Let's start by pushing this all the way up. I like to put my hands on my ribs to kind of keep my torso in check. Otherwise I'll get all wonky like this. Hands across our ribs. Now we're going to lower the band down to about 90 degrees at the elbows, right there. Keep the elbow facing up towards the ceiling, stretching the lats quite a bit. And we're just staying here. See me shaking like crazy right now. This is a great mode of resistance for isometric work. Woo, Nelly. Breathe now, don't forget to breathe. We'll start our extensions in 5, 4, 3, tempo a little faster this time, and push. 1, come down, push. 2, push. 3, let's get to 10. 4, 5, 6, push it up. 7, lock it out. 8, 9, one more. 10, oh yeah buddy, all right. And you guessed it, we've got 2 arms. So let's switch to our left heel. Left heel is in the back. Same side as the arm we're using. Right foot forward. It's going to push up. Body's tight. Lower down to approximately 90 degrees. And hold it. Think about it. Breathe about it. Your breath is your best friend when you're training. So it helps to prolong your work capacity, increase your endurance, help keep your mental clarity top notch, deliver much needed nutrients to your muscles which are screaming at you right now. Get ready to push up into our first extension and push. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just elbow up a little more. 5, 6. There you go. 7. Push it up. 2 more. Wow. All right, let's shake it out. Shake those tries out. Teacher on the chalkboard. All right, this is round 4. All right, round 4 bicep curls. This time, we're gonna do a wide curl. The wide curl puts a little more emphasis on the more medial portion of your biceps. You've got 2 bicep heads, medial and lateral. This puts more emphasis on the inside of the biceps. So in order to do this, we're going to supinate, supinate, supinate. Now externally rotate your shoulders. And you see how we kind of have the palms facing extra outward. And we're going to curl up towards the top, and we're going to squeeze right there. Now what dictates our position here, in this wide position, is how high can you squeeze it. Your own anatomy will stop you at your final position here. All right, we're keeping the shoulders pinned back, retracting and squeezing the shoulder blades. Now I want to show you a little trick here to engage your biceps even more. Let your wrists cock back a little bit, like this. So the wrists are not engaged. This gives you less leverage, makes it more difficult lever arm for us. Puts a little more emphasis on the biceps, a little bit less on the forearms. We'll maintain this cocked back wrist position while we do our curls in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower, stretch. We get a good stretch with this variation. Curl and squeeze. Lower and stretch, curl and squeeze. Lower and stretch. The stretch is the money here. Curl and squeeze. Lower and stretch, curl and squeeze. Every rep, you want to compound and build more and more tension. And that's up to you. That's your job to contract and control, to build tension and to feel like every rep is a little harder, because we'd rather get to our breaking point sooner than later. Quality over quantity. Let's get 3 more. 1. There you go. Get it up, Laura. 2. Grunt it up. Little body masse is all right. Little body English. All right. There it is. Woo! Yeah. Deep burn. All right. Back into our trifecta, because there are 3 heads of our triceps, hence the word tri. Let's take our band, let's loop it around the back. This is going to be somewhat of a chest press skull crusher variation. It's actually a bit more of a compound movement because we'll be operating at the elbow and the shoulder joint. Yeah, a little bit of pec recruitment, a little bit of anterior delt recruitment, but it's your job to stay mentally focused on your triceps. So we're going to tuck things in tight here. We're going to start by pushing out, and then we're just simply flexing our triceps here. We've got the elbows pretty extended. Now we could just kind of hang out here and feel like we're not doing anything. But that's not the case, because we're flexing and engaging our triceps against the band. So squeeze it tight. Yeah, I can see when you're flexing the triceps. Keep that flex there. Popping out. Squeeze it, squeeze it. Now, when we start our close grip chest press here, what we'll do is bring our knuckles here back towards our collarbone. Our palms will end up flashing forward towards you, and that movement pattern is crucial to us loading our triceps. This is actually the easiest isometric variation we've done so far. It requires the most diligence in your mind-body connection to flex, engage, and make it feel like you're pre-fatiguing your triceps. That's why we're going a little bit longer. Now let's start to bring the knuckles back, elbows tucked in. Keep tension in the band, and then push the fist back away from you. Straighten your fists out, straighten your wrists out. Keep your wrists straight. So fingernails, palms facing forward, knuckles facing forward. Back and push. I can tell that both of these bands are too easy for you, so it's your job to put your mind in your triceps, squeeze it, then control the band back using your triceps. Every repetition is an opportunity for you to fine-tune things. Palms are facing forward. Yeah. With a little higher volume on this, Because when you need it, you need it. And starting now, let's bust out 10 reps quickly together. Push, push, flex, flex, control, control, breathe, breathe. 2 more. All right. How's it feel? Feel like you're still working those triceps?
Yeah.
All right.
Shoulders.
How about you?
Yep.
Good? All right, well, that's an exercise that, just like any exercise, there's a learning curve. So you might feel like on any of these, or in that specifically, that you're not doing it correctly. Well, if you're practicing something for the first time, you're not going to be as efficient as possible. So just like any lift, any exercise in existence, there's a learning curve, and it takes practice and consistency to slowly but surely improve your technique and learn your own body mechanics and your positioning and your mind-muscle connection, of course, we're building. And in good time, any exercise becomes more effective. So keep that in mind. If you feel like you're not doing it right, just keep doing it. The fact that you're trying it means you're doing it right. Okay, our final bicep curl exercise is called a SOTS curl. That'll be our curl in motion. However, our isometric contraction, we're going to go back to a supinated grip. And the first isometric contraction we did in this supinated grip was at 90 degrees, I believe. We were at 90, very first round. We're going to go just below 90, and then we're going to go just above 90. So let's come almost to 90 degrees. Hold this for about 15 seconds. Shoulders back, glutes engaged, biceps flexed. Don't just hold the weight here, flex the weight here. Very important. All right, now we're going to curl up just past 90 degrees. Hold this right here. A SOTS curl is where we transition from a supinated grip on the way up to a pronated, palms facing down grip on the eccentric, on the negative on the way down. The key is to make a smooth U-turn at the top and at the bottom. All right, so let's go and curl all the way up to the top. Rotate palms down, lower it down. Rotate palms up, curl, rotate palms down smoothly, control. Smooth U-turns at the top and at the bottom. Stretch at the bottom, contract at the top. Let's speed it up a little bit now. Let's get about 5 more. Breathe. Oh, yeah. Yep. Excellent day. All right, so our last tricep variation is going to be a supine skull crusher variation. So we're actually going to need to hit the deck here. And so let's come on down onto our backs. Just get these out of the way. All right, the band is once again going to go around our back. Loop your hands through each end. Let's keep our knees bent and our feet flat. We'll lay on down. Great. Remy, let's angle your feet that way. Laura, angle your feet that way. There we go. Now we've got different perspectives here. And so let's once again start with our arms extended. This is a skull crusher because we're laying down and we're going to bring our knuckles back towards our forehead and we're going to hold it right there. Palms are facing up towards the ceiling. Now, depending on what band you've got and your level of strength, don't come down so far that you lose tension. Make sure you've got tension in the band and in your triceps. So when I say 90 degrees, maybe you're a little more, maybe you're a little bit less, depending on the optimal position for you to feel like you've loaded your triceps adequately to get a positive effect, training effect out of this isometric portion. Now when we put our skull crushers into motion, we'll push our knuckles up towards the ceiling, extending and flexing our triceps, and then we'll drop our knuckles down towards our forehead or like the temples of our heads on the sides. And let's push up in 3, 2, 1, push up. All right, and drop it down. Push it up, flex and squeeze, drop it down. Push it up, flex and squeeze, drop it down. You might notice some discomfort as the band rubs against your skin, maybe pulling some of your arm hair out, but we're not here for your comfort. We're here to make progress. It's just part of the training, just part of the journey. There's always going to be little nuances that get in the way or are uncomfortable with any exercise, but you don't let that overtake your control and concentration. We'll switch gears here again. We'll go from about second gear to fourth gear in a couple more reps. Get ready to speed it up. All right, let's go faster for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And come on up. Awesome, brosa. All right, gun show workout in the bag, biceps and triceps using a pair of dumbbells and a small band. You could always switch it up and do triceps with the dumbbells, biceps with the band. Getting creative is part of the journey, part of the fun. We've got a nice little arm pump. It's time to eat breakfast. Remember to refuel after your workouts. That's where the magic happens. It's not in the stress that you impose on your body and your muscles and your mind in the gym or wherever you're working out. It's actually the refueling and recovery that gives you the progress or whatever type of gains you're going for. So we can't finish this video off without a little gun show flexing. So let's bring them on up. Awesome. Blind high five. All right. Stay strong. Thanks, Remy. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Have a great day, folks.